Well, hey there guys, it is Kansas Man, and today I'm going to walk from 30th Avenue on Main Street all the way down to where the Smith's Market is at, down on Main. So this is going to be a very, very long walk. Now I'm not going to do much talking through this video, I'm just going to film. I tried doing this walk a couple of days ago, or earlier this week, when it was raining, and it was a really bad idea because the rain kept getting in the camera's view and I was soaking wet by the end of the walk. Now from where I'm walking, I had to walk all the way up here just to turn around and walk back towards this direction to get this all on camera. And it was a long walk up here. And I walked here because I didn't want to drive and park my car up here, then get to the Smith's Market and have to walk all the way back up here. It's not going to happen. And yes, excuse the very loud traffic. There's nothing I can do about that. It is a very nice, chilly, sunny day. This used to be Burger King right here. It closed sometime in 2020, I think. Not sure why or how, because it usually was busy. Like I said, I'm not going to do much talking through this video. Most of it's just going to be walking and showing off Main Street. And the reason I chose not to do too much talking is because there are a ton of people out and about, and I didn't want to have a ton of people staring at me talking to a camera. But I will say this though, Hutchinson has a very large Main Street for the size of a city this is. If I were to walk the full length of this Main Street, it goes down to Cary Park, which I'm not going to. You'll see just how big it is. But even with just walking to the Smith's Market, you're still going to get an idea of the tremendous scale of this Main Street. And yes, I'm fully aware I have not been posting too much to my channel recently. It's because I want to take things at my pace. Here's an example of people out and about, so I'm going to quit talking here. This restaurant here used to be Welders on Main. It closed a long time ago. Then it was temporarily converted into Scuttlebutt's Coffee, which is not there anymore, of course. Scuttlebutt's Coffee had moved. Sadly, it's a really nice building. It's just not getting used. Over here we got like an old shopping mall with all kinds of shops. got a Subway. Across the street, we got the State Fair Shopping Plaza. It's just basically a tiny strip mall with a few things on it, a few businesses. What? I can't hear you. So sorry about that. I'm starting the video back up. I just got to chatting with my friend at his business. And now I'm gonna head down and continue the tour. We had a pretty long conversation about stuff. And he's talking about me helping him tomorrow with some construction work at his new office. Got Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. So as I was saying, I don't know how well the camera picked up when I started the video back up because of the traffic noise, but I had to stop filming because one of my friends at his business over there was hollering at me, and I walked over to talk to him, and we hanged. I think I spent about 35 minutes over there. So now I'm continuing the tour. I love when people do this. I'm continuing a tour down Main Street. As I've already mentioned, I tried to do this walk. I think it was Wednesday I tried to do this walk, but it was raining all that day. And it wasn't like pouring rain real heavy. It was like this misty type of rain. And I got soaking wet from it. I walked out my place, it was like a misty rain, which I didn't mind because it wasn't that bad. But then I think like halfway through the walk and recording, it went from misty rain to like more of a pouring rain, which sucked. So over here is the Kansas State Fairgrounds on this side. And now we're getting into the more residential part of Main Street. With all the very nice houses and stuff in residential areas. Right now I'm talking a lot, but I know as the video progresses on, I will talk a lot less. So the commentary will stop. Some of the houses you will see on Main Street, they are incredibly nice, and some of them are pretty big, while others not so much. I mean, this year for fall has been absolutely beautiful. I mean, we have not had a fall like this in many years. Usually the falls we get here are pretty warm. It's like hot and warm mixed with cool and cold, then it just goes straight into winter. But this fall has been consistently beautiful all the way through. I'm impressed. Really enjoying this weather. As you see, the Kansas State Fairgrounds right there. We got some of the smaller houses like this. Now further up the street, as you're going to see as the video progresses on, a lot of Main Street has been redone in terms of asphalt, like the street surface, the sidewalks and everything have been redone within the last 2 to 3 years. So everything's like brand new. These sidewalks I'm walking on right now are pretty old. Right here, got a pretty decent sized church. It's the Grace Episcopal, I can't even say it, Episcopal Church. And they're located right off of Hyde Park. And every year during, I believe it's the Halloween event, and there's another one they do, is the Christmas one, because they do the candle lights in Hyde Park where they line all the sidewalks with candles, like these little candle bags. And this church here does a big dinner. It's like donations, but you can eat free if you want. They do like all kinds of soups, breads and stuff like that, and drinks. And across at the fire station, they do all kinds of events there as well during the holidays. Now Hyde Park has some very, very beautiful, huge houses. Maybe I'll do a video walking through Hyde Park one day. It's a really nice residential area. I mean, you're talking about only very wealthy people live there, basically. We do have some pretty large houses off of Main Street too that are very nice. Now this section of sidewalk I'm starting to walk on is starting to get to the new, if I can talk. Now this section of sidewalk I'm coming up on is the new stuff. You can kind of see where they have new sections put into it, and they left old sections where the old sections were still good. Actually starting to see the houses are getting a little bigger now. Now on the corner of 19th and Main, which is this next intersection, or this block I should say, on that side and this side, on both sides all the way down, this block has some very large, beautiful homes. And these are always the houses that do Christmas lights every year as well. And it looks really nice. As you see here, starting to get some larger houses. Like, look at the size of this house. And then there's even like a huge secondary house slash garage in the back. Don't know if you can see it much, but there inside these trees there's a gigantic house. It's basically like a mini mansion. Whatever they call them things. I think they call them mini mansions. That's basically what that is. It's ginormous. It's hard to see from here because it's well covered in those pine trees. This church across the street is absolutely massive. It's a really beautiful church too. I swear the stabilization doesn't work on this GoPro like it should, because I've been noticing when I've been recording videos the footage has been pretty shaky, and it's not supposed to be. I'm not sure if I accidentally switched stabilization off or something. I'm not sure how to turn it back on. But it's driving me nuts because my videos come out really shaky. They're not supposed to. Don't know if you can see the scale of that church though. Just how big it is. It's really hard to see it, but it goes from this all the way over here and around. So this section of Main Street I'm on now, all the sidewalks and the roads and street lights, everything's brand new. This was much needed. This was like a bed and breakfast, I believe. And there's also a couple other businesses inside of this. And this here is the oldest Dillon's on Main Street. I should say it's the oldest Dillon's in Hutchinson. It's the Main Street Dillon's. They've even kept the original design and lettering. Of course, we got the Elliott Mortuary, the funeral home. Across the street, got some pretty big houses and businesses. This section of sidewalk I'm walking on was done in 2020, 2021. This is pretty recent. Everything you're seeing is brand new. The street lights, the traffic signs, like signs like this is brand new, and street marker signs, those are brand new, where it shows 12th Street. This was converted into a disability supports place by the name of the Clay Works. They had to spend millions and millions of dollars doing this. I'm not even kidding. If you were to see the interior to that building, it is insanely fancy. It's gorgeous too, of all the lighting and the way they done it. There's a coffee shop in there as well. Across the street, we do have one of the Hutchinson clinics. A massive house. Crossing 11th and Main. for the shaky footage. I know the footage. I know this footage is coming out shaky. There's nothing I can do about that. Now, if you made it to this far in a video, congrats. It might be kind of boring unless you're here to check out to see what Hutchinson looks like. This video is not really meant for entertainment purposes. It's just meant for documenting what the city looks like for those who are curious. This is the Hutchinson Library. It's pretty decent sized. I wouldn't say it's huge, but it's pretty decent sized. Across the street, got some businesses and stuff. They put in these walk signals, these traffic light signals. These used to not be here. And of course, this was done when all of Main Street was redone. And this is the other side to the library. That's one of the Hutchinson Community College buildings. Here we got a very large old historic church. There's quite a few big churches in Hutchinson, by the way. They're all over the city. There's quite a few big old churches like this. Now, this building here, right there, it's what many has known by Grace Hospital. And I heard Grace Hospital used to extend out where the Wendy's is at now. That building was converted into the Hutchinson Lofts. For those who have moved away from Hutchinson or have not seen this in a long time, it's basically lofts now. They're income-based lofts too, which is kind of crappy if you ask me. Which means you can only move into the that building if you meet income-based requirements. In other words, you must be poor. But they're really nice apartments though. I've been in that building before. And now it's been many years ago I've been in there with a friend. This Wendy's right here is taking the place of the Wendy's they demolished, which, by the way, it's on my channel. Let's go look up at the Wendy's demolition Hutchinson, Kansas video. They demolished the old Wendy's that was here. This building is brand new, of course. It's still not open, they're still working on it, but it's getting very near completion. This here used to be dollar cents. It's like a dollar store basically. And I know many moons ago it was a gas station, I think. It kind of looks like it was a gas station many moons ago. I'm not from Hutchinson, but I've been here for the last 10 years now. So anything Hutchinson was prior to October 19th, 2011, I have no idea. I guess I should make more sense of that. I moved to Hutchinson October 19th, 2011. So what things were and were not before I moved here, I have no idea what is and what wasn't. The only time I came to Hutchinson prior to living here was for the state fair. And believe it or not, when I used to come here for the state fair, I'd never even seen they had a downtown. Like, I'd never seen the downtown here until I moved here. Because when I would come here, I'd go up on 17th to the state fair. The little gas station I zoomed the camera towards, that used to be a Zip Trip gas station a long time ago, and that was before I moved to Hutch. I only know this because I seen it on Google Maps. Now this building across the street is the Salt City Brewery. It was recently converted into that within the last 4 or 5 years. Prior to that, used to be like what was it called? Benjamin Heating and Cooling. That's basically what it was before. It was some kind of plumbing place too. But they bought the building out and they converted it into this really beautiful bar along the side. They have an outdoor patio area. I mean, it's 2 stories in there. They have a 2nd floor. It's just absolutely gorgeous in there when they done the renovations. This building here, they still need to convert this into lofts. This was supposed to have been turned to lofts a long time ago, but they never did it. I know for the longest time it was apartments up there, but they evicted everyone because they were going to go through and redo the whole building and turn them into really nice lofts. That's this building here. It's a beautiful looking building, and sad enough they're just leaving it to decay and for vandals to do stuff to it, but they can't tear it down because it's a registered landmark. Getting into more of downtown Hutchinson. And this part of Main Street, you've guys seen on my channel before a few times. But this might be the first time this part of Main Street was shown through a walk tour. Well, it is the first time I've done it through a walk tour like this. I see we got a train up ahead. It might pass by the time I get up there though. All of Main Street has these, I don't know what you call them, planters and trees and stuff like this now. Because they did, again, they did come through and redone everything over here. This particular part of Main Street was actually done in 2017. And I actually have a video on my channel of the construction time lapse of this part of Main Street. Like from start to finish, basically. I don't know if you would call it a time lapse, it's probably the wrong term for it, but I do have the over time construction progress of them redoing this section of Main Street, and that was back in 2017, where they put in new traffic lights, they redid all the roads and sidewalks and stuff like that, and they put in these new street lights. I'm glad they did it because the Main Street here used to look really ghetto before they redid all this. With the old crappy, rusty street lights, the old cracked and faded sidewalks, it was really ugly looking. So this renovation was much needed. Got no daylight donuts here. Now this across the street, get my camera on this across the street, a little building, was an old train depot a long time ago. But when I first moved here to Hutchinson, it was a sandwich shop called Cool Beans Coffee Shop. Yeah, it was like a coffee sandwich shop. It was called Cool Beans. It was a really good place. And the only reason why it closed, because the owner decided to retire, which, you ask me, makes no sense, because the girl who decided to retire was pretty young. I don't know if this makes any sense. This building across the street, right here, is Jillian's Italian Grill. It's a very, very nice restaurant. Very beautiful on the inside too. I could say it's one of the high-class restaurants around here. So if you're looking at like an expensive date, that would be the place to go. Although they're not like really expensive, they're like more very reasonably priced for the very good food they serve and for the atmosphere that's in there. Here's the DCI Park with the DCI, which is the Data Center Inc. building. And I know a long time ago I heard about it. There used to be a really large hotel convention center on this corner, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there was like a massive hotel convention center taking up this whole space a long time ago. And if memory serves me correctly, it was demolished because of a fire or something, or explosion within, that damaged the whole building beyond repair. One of my favorite views in Hutchinson is this corner. You can see the two taller buildings and shops like that. I like that view. Westfall Jewelers. This building across the street was converted into apartments back in 2014. I believe it actually officially opened in 2014, but they started construction in 2013. Carl's Bar. They're turning this building into something. I'm not sure what yet, but this used to be Ali's Deli. They gutted the inside out, so I'm not sure what they're turning this into. Sleep Shop Furniture and Gallery. This has been here for a long time. This building here is the First National Bank. It's a pretty large building. As you can see there, it's the First National Bank. And the top of this furniture store, this is all of, these are apartments up here at the upper floor. Really nice ones too. The painting on the side of this building was done in 2019. Crossing Avenue A. And right over here is the Avenue A Park, which I do have on my channel as well. I did a walk tour through this. But of course in this video I'm not going to do a walk tour through that, just because this is a Main Street video. But I will show you from here. And the park continues on that side as well. So basically most of the downtown Main Street events uses this park. Across the street we do got a Salvation Army store right there. This whole building was converted into different shops. And of course, the iconic Smith's Market. And I say the iconic Smith's Market because they've been here in Hutchinson for like the last 70 years, I believe. The old Stevens building, which by the way, this half of the Stevens building has been fully renovated. They have the Evolution Salon in there and spa, and they also have like a I don't know what you call it again, it's like one of them clothing stores. This half of the building still has to be utilized. I can't get a clear shot of that sign about the sun blurring the camera, but I'm going to do it from this side. This is another iconic building in Hutchinson, which is also the oldest standing building in Hutchinson as well. I should say it's the oldest standing building on Main Street in downtown Hutchinson. very iconic Stevens sign. So I'm going to end the video tour here. I'm not going to continue walking all the way down that part of Main Street to Cary Park. It's just not that appealing over there. Not that appealing, I should say, to see. It's just the older half of Main Street. Maybe one day I'll do a separate video of that half, but believe me, it's not worth looking at. So that is all. I'm going to cut the camera here. Thank you for watching, and adios. Now I gotta walk all the way back home.